If you want to know about strength, you just gotta get to it. We fighting fools are all getting to it on the streets. Street Fighter 6.
Yo, what's up guys? It is Nigel here, and today we are back with another how to beat video, and we're talking about Cammy. Now, if I'd say what part of the tier list you'd be in, like what letter, she's been around everywhere, honestly, when the beginning of the game, but a lot has changed and people know where the meta is somewhat now. So if I had to say it, I'd say A. She could be potentially S depending on who uses her and really knows how the character works, but I would say A. That's the safest bet, because she's like, I want to say maybe top 5 at least characters, top 5. She's one of them, maybe 5 or something. I don't know exactly, but I think that's where she would be at personally, from what she can do, how close she can get in, and the mix, really, the sauce. So I would put her there. Now, what archetype could beat her? But before I say what archetype could beat her, to mention, anybody can beat anybody in this game. It's been proven. So anybody could beat anybody. But I would probably have to say maybe a grappler character could beat her potentially. And definitely a range character, like someone like Guile. They got her because Spiral Arrow does not go under projectile, so she is not safe. She is susceptible to getting hit with a projectile, so that works too. And if you have a good anti-air, you're good too. So really anybody can beat her. It's just that, you know, you got to know what you're doing and understand what she's trying to do, the Cammy player, like what they're trying to mix you up with, pretty much. But yeah. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is probably her dive kick. Her dive kick, because I feel as if that's where things get a bit confused. It's kind of like the same thing with Jamie, honestly, which is, you know, depending on how high she does it, it's different for her advantage. See, she's 5 right there. That's 7 because it's directly in the head. But if they always go for the shoot, they're definitely going to be plus or safe. So that's the thing to keep in mind. I mean, so for instance, if I did this version, which is the same dive kick thing, pretty much, it's 0. Hit the toe. Right there, 0. Let's see if we can get there. 1, and then dang. How do I get 2? I think 2's like right here. Oh, that's -2. That's wrong 2 we're looking for. But pretty much, oh, +4. Well, I think that's if you just EX in general. I think it's better frame advantage, but pretty much depending on what distance she hits you, like she hits your toe, she's gonna be safer and probably plus most of the time. But if she hits you in the head, you're free to do something. Like if she hits you right here, that is a, what is that, 5 or 6 to 4, so you can do something. But the closer she is to ground to doing the dive kick, the more likely it's going to be safe. So that's just a thing you need to keep in mind. Now, is there a waste of type dive kick? There sure is. Now, if they do just jump in dive kick, you can most certainly anti-air that. Most people can anti-air that with uppercut. I mean, crouching heavy punch, uppercut. You can even DI it. So there's a solution for that. But once she gets lower, things get a little bit more difficult. Like, I think if it's like right here, I think she actually is. I think she might be able to do drive impact back. I just don't know the exact distance towards when she can do that. But I'm pretty positive she can do that. So it's not a guaranteed. Yeah, like that for that instance right there. It didn't say punish counter because she could have drive impact back. So you gotta watch out for that too. So don't go throwing willy-nilly drive impact unless you know the exact way she hits. Like she hits you from above, it'll probably work. But if it's lower, it's probably not gonna work. So that's just something you have to get ready for. And also, if they do hit you really, really low, and if you want them off of you, like if you think they're gonna press a button, you always could just, you know, do that. You could just drive reverse them. Or also you could just parry this too. But I wouldn't advise it all the time unless you're good at perfect parrying, because you could just parry them and they could just grab you after or something. Because if they hit it low on the ground, they're guaranteed plus pretty much. So there's something you want to watch out for. But that is what I would do if I was dealing with Cammy. Just see where she's hitting me, and that'll determine anything, especially a knockdown. Because I know most Cammy players knock it down and then do this into that. And if they do this, actually specifically if they did knock you down, like let's see if I can make a scenario here, even though I'm not a Cammy player, so bear with me here. Dang, there we go. Yeah, she's -2, so she's not, like, she can do something, but so can you in that situation. This is just an example. So whenever they do this, you can actually do something. Yeah, the answer really is not to drive impact in this scenario, because they can still do that, but you still can just uppercut them and level 1 or level 2 them. So in this scenario, do whatever you think is best. And obviously the Cammy player, she could, if she wanted to, just do that. They could do that and then be safe entirely, which I think is the worst situation for you as a player if they do this, because you don't know what's going to happen next. They could just, if you did throw a button, well, you're about to get punished by a big combo. Or she doesn't do heavy damage to combos, I would think about it, but you're going to get messed up pretty much. So that's the thing there. Also, when you're going up against Cammy, depending on what character you want to stay close to her, or no, you want to stay in the mid-range kind of. If you're good pokes, that's fine too. Speaking of pokes, her normals, a lot of them are good, but you can't drive impact with a lot of them. Like for instance, her medium kick, like this move right here, you can't she can't drive impact. She can't cancel into a special move. So if she does throw this out willy-nilly like a Cammy player, you can drive impact it. Or you could whiff punish it too. If you have the distance like that or something. So that's another thing you can do there with that normal. That's medium kick. Her crouching, or not crouching, this is standing. Wow, that's a weird animation. Her standing can also not be drive impact, so the same thing applies to. So you can whiff punish it, and you know, drive impact it, etc. Whiff punish seems a little bit harder though, but you still can do it. Whew. There we go. But the thing is, for her unique normal attack, which is what is this, forward heavy kick, you actually can't drive impact that. It's not a good idea too, because she can actually special cancel and stuff. So if you did, you're gonna get messed up. And the same goes for, I believe, what is it? This normal here, back heavy kick. If you do that, you'll get hit with that too as well. But the interesting thing is with her though, is her crouching fierce is actually not special cancelable at all. So if she ever does this to you repeatedly, you can drive impact that. So that's the good news there. If you're fast enough. Otherwise, then, you know, you're at a mercy. Because as you saw for a moment there, it gave it like a brief thing for a period where she can do something. Which is the thing I noticed about her. She can actually drive impact back depending if you're fast enough. I mean, if you don't do it fast enough, then she can drive impact you back. Yeah, those are some of the normals that are punishable. Also, for what is this, back heavy punch into heavy kick, this, if they does the entirety of that, she's not safe at all. But most Cammy players don't do that. What they do normally is do this into that Counter Strike. Now when they do the string, the best thing you can do is not to drive impact, because they are, I think they are, what are they, yeah, 0. So they can drive impact you back if they wanted to. They can do what they want. Your best option is either drive reversal, or you can block all this and then uppercut them with an invincible move, or, you know, level 1, level 2, level 3, depending if yours has, you know, good invincibility or whatever. So that's the options you have there for that. You also could, well, no, they're committed, so yeah. In this situation, they either get the dive or that, so they're probably going to do that. So if they do, you can punish them if you have the meter to do it. So that's also another thing. And they could EX it, so, but you don't want to get hit by that. And the reason because is they're +2, I believe, if they do hit this on you. Yeah, they're +2, so they can do some stuff. So it's a situation where the Cammy player is locked in. They have to go with that answer. So those are your options of punishing that. Also, there is one more move I forgot to talk about, which is her back medium punch, which is -1 on block, and it is special cancelable. So you can't drive impact it. I wouldn't recommend drop reversaling it. You just have to accept it. It's only -1, so it's not that bad, but something to also look out for, and it could be a potentially good anti-air as well. Next thing I want to talk about is actually her other special moves too, like Spiral Arrow and Cannon Spike, and Hooligan, and whatever this is called, I forget. For Spiral Arrow, for instance, this is not a safe move, so if a Cammy player does do this to you, you can punish it with a medium, punish it with a heavy, so you have a lot of options, because it is -12. I believe if they do the EX, I think it's actually worse. I think it's even worse. Yeah, it's -14, so yeah. And then even if the fully charge, I think it is still 14, I think, because it's the same, pretty much, yeah. So any version of Spiral Arrow you can punish. Obviously, uppercut, for uppercut, you can punish it too. So same applies for that too. And if you do block it, what is this? 36, so I don't even need to tell you. You can pretty much do anything you want. For this version, EX 40, so it's even worse. So you can, I don't know. I don't think you can jump in and mess her up like that. That used to be like minus 40 or something. 50 or something, I mean. But you can heavy punch them. You can pretty much do any of your unique attacks that you have at your disposal, honestly. Like any of these buttons you're seeing me do, the startup is definitely not even in the 20s, so you can do what you want. Like that, even, so you're perfectly fine to do whatever you want if she does do uppercut. That's like the biggest punish, obviously, but everybody knows that. Now, Hooligan, it gets a little complicated here. For Hooligan, it is -3, but it changes depending on which one you do. Like this. Oh, brother, block for me. Goodness gracious. That's -2. I mean 2. That's -3, and the heavy version is -3. I mean +3. My bad. And the EX version is -2 for some reason. I don't understand why, but it is invulnerable to fireball as the EX version, so that's something you want to look out for. So she does this. While that happens, you're gonna get hit, and then she'll be +11 on hit. So then she can mess you up for real, So I guess that's the way where you can't willy-nilly throw projectiles at. But if you're further away, like a Gal player, you should be fine, relatively. But if you're like in this range, she has you, so just be careful of that. Now, most of the time, people use Hooligan to mix you up throughout certain situations, like if you're on the ground or whatever, because it'll give them a good chance to really land it and get close to you, because the whole objective of Hooligan is to get close to you and mix you up, especially the EX version, which can be used in multiple ways. But if they do try to use Hooligan on you, you can drive impacted, but if you do it too slow, I think it's what light Hooligan specifically. But let me make sure. Yeah, well, light Hooligan, if you do it way too slow, react way too slow, they can drop impact you back. So have good timing on that, please. Hit the DI if you want to. You also could just drive reversal and get them off of you. That works too. That's a good option as well. But primarily, you want to do that. You also can perfect parry if your timing is great. Mine isn't, because it's my first time trying to do this, but it is an option as well, and obviously you get a punish if you do so. So there you go, and then you can do something like that. Obviously you don't want to do anything meter reliant, because drive perfect parry, because you do less damage, but you know, either way, that's the way to punish Hooligan. Those are some of the ways. Actually, there's something I forgot to mention about Cammy's dive kick that I thought about, which is if they just do it like that into a thing, because that's what most Cammy players probably do. There's multiple ways you can actually handle this, which is by just jumping. Like, I'll do something like that. This. Oh wait, I gotta block it first. You can just jump them if you want, and then do something like that, or you could just walk back, actually, and then you can get a punish if you're fast enough. That is, you know. That's another way to handle Cammy. Now, if you're in the corner, your best bet is to jump, obviously. You could also just try to parry as well, and the other stuff I said, drive reversal. But you probably don't want to drive impact because of the statement I said before, and also if you're in the corner, you move forward. So, depending on your character. I think most characters move forward with the drive impact, though. But just be careful of that, and use these tools to help you with the dive kick. You can just jump and back up. Now, talking about this bad boy right here, I forgot. Either way, the low version for this, right? The low version. It's actually +2, so... And this goes for every version, even EX. So this is the EX, for instance. Still +2. So you're pretty much at her advantage. But even if you see her do this, just doing that, you can just anti-her. So I don't really need to tell you how to punish this. If you just see this going out, you can press a button. It doesn't really matter. You can press even a light punch. Be careful of the distance, because they can go over you, and that'll certainly mess you up. So yeah, you can also just cross uppercut. But there's ways to, you know, stop them from doing that. You can just press a button. But you have to be wary too, because they could just do that instantly too. Which is what you see mainly for a knockdown situation. But if someone does do that, you can try to hit them if you're fast enough, and then you'll get them. But just be wary of it. And the last move that she has with this thing is the this overhead move, which is pretty good on hit, not particularly block, because on block it can go, the standard version at least can go to -5 to -4 to -3 and 1, I believe. It can go to 2, but it depends on how low she hits you with it, I think. But I'm only getting 1 with this, so yeah. Depending if she hits you in the head, that's 5, and, you know, 4. So it is punishable if she does the wrong version, which is hitting you on the head. But the lower it is, the better it is for her to do. Now, if she does the EX version, it is -2. Now, on hit, this is where it becomes actually a really potentially good move. Now, depending on the distance of how she hits you again, like overhead, that's that's +6 right here. That's 9, and I think this is always guaranteed 8. It seems like it doesn't matter how low she is to the ground. That's guaranteed 8. But regardless, if she does hit you with this, she will be in a good position to get some free damage off of you, pretty much. So if I did this version, bam, 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 and to spiral arrow, pretty much. But let me show you. I just messed up because I'm not used to this character. Like that, and that gives you closer to the corner to mess you up, because how Cammy works is, if she gets you to the corner, you kind of almost lose, it feels like sometimes. So you don't want to get in the corner. You want her in the corner, actually, because she is, it's kind of double-edged sword yet again. She's terrible while she's in the corner, but while you're in the corner, that's where she thrives at the most. So that's something I'm going to watch out for too. But to counter, you know, this move, it just anti-air before it comes out, honestly. It's the same thing with everything else I said, pretty much. Just knock her out of the air. Same thing. Also, I almost forgot to mention her grab that she has. She has this grab with the stance too. It gives you a actually interesting situation. It makes you not be able to drive impact her, because if a Cammy player does do that or something, like any button, you can drive impact her, right? But if she does do the grab, you're not going to be able to drive impact her, so that is something you want to watch out for. So that's why you don't want to willy-nilly throw in drive impact, because she can just grab you out of it. There you go. And then if she does get the EX version, this is the EX version, for instance. So same for same for that. She gets to pop up, and then she can mix you up or hit you or whatever she wants to do. So something I almost forgot to mention, but yeah. The last thing I want to talk about Cammy is her anti-airs, I guess, for jumping in on her, which is something I don't recommend you should be doing too much on Cammy, only for the fact that she's not a charge character, so she actually can throw out an uppercut immediately if the player is good enough and has good reactions. She also has a whole bunch of anti-airs, which is back heavy kick, and then she can follow up into dive kick to get more pressure. She has medium punch as well. So my advice to people for Cammy is to not jump in on her. Do not jump in. It's not a good idea. And then sometimes, or I think this can catch you if you do that. Yeah, she could just level 2 you in the air because she already rises up. So, and I think she gets a combo. Yeah, she gets a combo if that happens too. So jumping in isn't the best option. I would stay grounded regularly. I mean, if you can, stay on the ground as much as you can. If you can get a jump in, sure, go for it. But I recommend just play a little bit of her game, but try to hit her with some pokes and stuff, and then try to get her to the corner. Because that's the one condition of Street Fighter 6 in general. But ideally, you want to get her to the corner, because that's their worst element. That's when she starts doing reckless stuff, in my opinion. Like, if you want to make a Cammy player be reckless, get them to the corner, because they have to be reckless. Because if they don't, they die. So that's where Cammy players make the most mistakes, is in the corner. But if you keep jumping in on her, she'll potentially lower your health really, really fast on what she can do, because her anti-airs are very, very oppressive, or impressive, I should say, not oppressive. That you can deal with them somewhat, but still, because she's the type of character that chips you away. So that's my recommendation, is not to jump in too much. But I wouldn't recommend jumping at all. There's no like really right distance, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could say up close, but she could just immediately hit back medium punch, or just back heavy kick. So I wouldn't really do that, and she still could just uppercut you. So it's just a bad situation. So just stay grounded with her, and you should actually anti-air her, because most Cammy players, I feel as if, jump a lot technically to just do the dive kick, because it's just built into them to do that and that. So yeah. So ultimately, don't jump on Cammy, moral story. And yeah, now that is pretty much the end of the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Now, if I did miss anything, please put it in the comment section down below, or I've got something wrong, let me know down below, because other people do read the comments, and it does help other people learn the character a bit better if I made a mistake or whatever, you know. So I would really appreciate that. And yeah, now I don't really face Cammy too much, and when I did, I was getting cooked because I was using Lily, and Lily's not good. So yeah, and I didn't really understand the dive kick mechanic too well in this game, but now I do. So I think I have a better chance of fighting her, and when my friends did use her, I had a better chance, I feel as if, at least to me. So yeah, but either way, hope you guys have a great day, night, noon, or whatever time period you guys are that, man, and I will see you guys next time.